what the basic beat sounds like. And when I say that, that just means 1 and 3 on the bass, 2 and 4 on the snare, right? So it's gonna go 1, 2, here we go. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. We know that one. Gotta have that down pat. What we're gonna do today is we're gonna play around with the bass, alright? We're gonna have a little bit of fun. Can you guys see it? Yeah. Alright. So now we have quarter notes, right? So we got 1, 2, 3, 4. Then we got eighth notes. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and. What we're gonna do today is we're gonna play the bass on 1 and 3 and. So it's gonna sound like this. If we're playing 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and. So one more time on the hi-hat so it's easier for me. 1, 2, here we go. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and. The snare is going to say the same for now. Here we go. This is what it sounds like. 1, 2, ready, here we go. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and. We will rock you. We will rock you. Finished on 4. Really easy to remember that. Just sing the We Will Rock You song. Alright. I'm going to play it just a little slower so you guys can capture what's happening here. I'm going to count it. 1 and 2 and here we go. Sorry. Slower. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and oops. Again. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and. If you're counting out loud, you're going to get it because you know when this is going. Remember that the right hand, or for some people if they're left-handed, whichever hand is playing the hi-hat, you're going to keep playing that. So the one and is together. 1 and. 1 and. They're all together. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and. Let's try another one. Another way to make this easier, and we know the bass is going to be around 1 and around 3. So if we could just play the 3 and, it'll sound like this. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and. Versus 1 and 2 and 3 and 4. Again, 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and. So you see the bass is going to be always around 1 and around the number 3, the third count. Let's try 16th notes. Alright guys, if you're not comfortable playing the basic beat, which is 1, 2, 3, 4, then stick to that. Please just practice that. If you nail that down, great job, real proud. Keep practicing, never forget it. But you can move on to 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and the We Will Rock You, or the half version, which is 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and. If you're counting out loud, you're not going to miss it. All right, let's talk 16th notes. if you're not ready, if you don't know this, rewind, pause the video, whatever you need, take some time and practice this. One, two, ready, here we go. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and we will rock you. We will rock you. Finished on 4. For those of you that got that down, we're going to talk 16th notes. So 16th notes, remember, we say California, 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 California. Slower, it's going to be in the 16th note count. I'm going to go from quarter notes to 8th notes to 16th notes. 1, 2, and 3 E and a 4 E and a. So in quarter notes, it's 1, 2, 3, 4, 8th notes, 1 and 2 and 3 and 4, 16th notes, 1 E and a 2 E and a 3 E and a 4 E and a. That is the California symbols. You're going to say 1 E and a. That is the 4 in one beat. That's 4 16th notes equal to 1 beat. So we're going to play 2 variations on the 16th notes with the bass drum. Then I'm going to put those 2 together to make the 3rd variation for the more advanced. Here we go with the first one. I'm going to play it, then I'm going to explain it. 1, 2, ready, go. I like that beat because on the 1, it sounds like a heartbeat. And let me teach you what that sounds like. It's going to sound, right? Sounds like a heartbeat, like. So, why did I say it's called 16 notes? Because if you watch the hi-hat, I'm going to play it right here. Actually, I'm going to have to play it here. If you watch it, the hi-hat is going 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and, right? So if I do it slower, it's going to be 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and. But the bass drum on 1 is going to go 1 E and a. 1 E and a. 1 E and a, 2 E and a. So, because we're playing 16 notes, we're playing here, these 2 are not going to be together. They're going to be separate. So it's going to sound like you're skipping a beat. So it's going to go like this. 1 E. Try that. Together, bass, hi-hat. 1 E and a. Together again. 1 E and. Oh, I don't play the One more time. 1 E. 1 E and a. 1 E and a. The is a 16th note, so it doesn't get played. You got 1 E and a. Together we land on 1. 1 E and a gets skipped. So all together, it's gonna sound like this. 1, 2, ready, go. 1 E and a. 1 E and a. 1 E and a. 1 E and a. Okay? I'm gonna play it a little fast and I'm gonna slow it down. But what I'm gonna play is 1 E, and I'm also gonna throw it on the 3rd beat, so it's gonna be 3 E. You're gonna hear it right now. 1, 2, here we go, and 1, 3 E, 4, 1 E, 2, 3, 4, slower. 1 E, 2, 3 E, 4. 1 E, 2, 3 E, 4. So you're not going to play the E together with the hi-hat because the E is a 16th note. So if we just play the first beat, it's going to go like this. 1 E and A. So for the first beat, you're not going to play the A. You're only going to play 1 E, and the E is not together because the E is a 16th note, and we're not playing 16th notes on the hi-hat. We're playing 8th notes. 8th notes is the 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and. 16th notes are 1 E and a, 2 E and a, 3 E and a, 4 E and a. So the E is not together. The 1 is together, and the and is on the hi-hat. So it sounds like this. 1 E and a. Okay? I'm going to throw in the 2 just to complete the measure. 1 E and a, 2. Let's try that. 1 E and a, 2. 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 Again. 1 E and a, 2. The full beat. 1 E and a 2 and a 3 E and a 4 E and a 1 E and a 2 E and a 3 E and a 4 E and a. Let's try the next one. So for this next one, we're going to leave the first beat 1, we're going to leave it all by itself. But on the 3, we're going to do this thing that we skip 3. So because we have 2 E and a, 3 E and a. So it's going to sound like a 3 E. So we don't play on the 3. Remember, the bass drum is going to be around 1. It's going to be around 3. The snare, we'll get to that. But it's going to be always around 2 and always around 4. The beat that you clap to when you hear a song. So this is what it's going to sound like. 1, 2, a 3, E, 4. Let's try it slower. 1 E and a 2 E and a, here we go. 1 E and a 2 E and a 3 E and a 4 E and a 1 E and a 2 E and a 3 E and a 4 E and a 1 E and a 2 and a 3 E and a 4 E and a 1 E and a 2 E and a 3 E and a 4 E and a. Woo! That's hard. So it's actually a 3 and. That's why the second one is a little delayed. A 3 and. So fully, it's a 3 E and. 1 E and a 2 E and a 3 E and a 4 E and 1 E and a 2 E and a 3 E and a 4 E and 1 E and a 2 E and a 3 E and a 4 E and 1 E and a 2 E and 4 E and a. See how on the 3 it goes a 3 and. That means that and is going to be played together with the hi-hat. I just noticed that. I've been playing for 15 years, and I forgot how to count. But if you practice counting just like I did right now, then you don't miss. If you know how to count it, it becomes second nature. And if you forget, you just start counting it out. And that's how you're going to remember. It's a 3 and. And remember that ands are eighth notes, and we're playing eighth notes on the hi-hat. So let's try it. 1, 2. Here we go. And 1 E and a 2 E and a 3 and 4 E and a 1 E and a 3 and 4 E and a 1 E and a 3 and a 3 and a 3 and 4 E and a slower. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1. It's going to be one more time slower. I'm going to play it sped up so you hear what it sounds like. Then I'm going to break it down. 1, 2, 3, 4. Slower. 1. Painfully slow. 3, 4. 1 and 3 and 1, 3 and 4. Slower. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4. I messed up. Here we go. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4. All right, so far we learned two things, right? First one we learned was the 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and. Then we learned, I'm going to play it a little slower than that tempo so you can hear the 1 E. So it's 1 E. That was extra. 1 E and a 2 E and a 3 E and a 4. 1 E and a 2 E and a 3 E and a 4 E and 1 E and a 2 E and a 3 E and a 4 E and 1 E and a 2 E and a 3 E and a 4 E and. You see how the 3 E or the 1 E is faster than 1 and. And I don't want to say faster, but it's a 16th note, which is a little bit, it's going to sound faster than an eighth note, but the tempo is the same. So listen to this. 1 E versus 1 and. 1 E, 1 and. So like this. 1 E. Sorry, I get excited. Let me try it again. 1, 2, ready, go. 1 E, 3 and 4. 1 E, 2, 3 and 4. Same tempo. It just sounds different because it's 16th versus 8th notes. Now I'm going to switch it where I go 1 and then 3 E. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and. You can change it up. You got options. You got 1 and. You got 1 E. You can do 3 and. You can do 3E. You can do a 3 and. So let's hear what that sounds together. I'm going to go 1E, a 3 and, 1E, a 3 and, 1E, a 3 and, right? 1E, a 3 and, 1E, a 3 and. So go home and practice. You got a few. You got 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and. You got 1E and 2 and 3 and 4 and. You got 1 and 2, a 3 and 4 and. And you can put all of those together to make some really cool combos that sound like this. 1E and a 3 and 4 and 1 and 2, a 3 and 4. Actually, I haven't taught you that one. But there's a lot of variations once you know the 16th notes. 1E and a 3 and 4, 1 and 2, a 3 and 4. Go home and practice. Great job, guys.